Hi, I'm back. So now we're talking about fungal and parasitic diseases, and then in the next video I'll talk about eyes, okay? So in the fungal, we're only going to talk about dermatomycosis and candidiasis. In the parasitic infestations, which are not microbes, right, we're going to talk about scabies and pediculosis. So starting with fungal diseases. Mycosis is the name given to fungal infections, right? And mycosis can be cutaneous when they affect the skin, including hair, nails, and the outer part of the epidermis. These fungi, like I said, they eat and they metabolize keratin. That's very important here. Dermatomycosis have different species of a genus called Tinea or ringworm. So ringworm is not, even though it looks like this, that's why it's called ringworm, because it's round, but it's not a worm, it's a fungus, okay? Just to have that clear. We're gonna have some expressions here that are not really what they sound like, okay? So we're always gonna correct and pay attention to that. So this is a fungus, not a worm, okay? And it's the same Tinea, the same genus that causes athlete's foot, okay? It's just a different species. So that is it about fungal mycosis, okay? And they're usually treated with topic antifungal medicines. Candidiasis. Candidiasis is another fungal infection that is usually more systemic, meaning it can affect the skin, but also can affect other parts of the body, such as mucous membranes of the genitourinary tract and the mouth. When it infects the genitourinary tract, we're going to revisit this later, then it's called yeast infection or vaginitis, right? Caused by candida or candidiasis. But candidiasis, when it affects the mouth, is called thrush. Thrush is very common in kids. Because their immune system is still not fully developed in infants. Then you have a condition that looks like this. Okay, that's oral candidiasis or thrush. Remember that candida is a fungus that is dimorphic, meaning what? It is an yeast, usually at 37 degrees. But at 25 degrees or room temperature, it is seen it's usually seen as a mold, and the mold has hyphae, right? Remember, it's like looks like a little plant without a root. When you have pseudohyphae, which is part of the constitution of candida, that makes it resistant to phagocytosis because our body is not usually able to destroy a mold. So when there is the mold form in the body, which is less usual, but it could happen, it would be a really resistant form because our macrophages are not able to attack it, okay? When do you have thrush? Like I said, infants, the immune system is still not fully developed. When do you have the genitourinary tract condition? Mostly in women. When there is some change in the environment that makes the immune system suppressed, stress, any hormonal changes, pregnancy, and all this could lead to candidiasis, to vaginal candidiasis, but we're going to come back to this later. So now let's talk about the infestation. There are two special parasites that can infect the skin. One is scabies. Scabies are usually characterized by intense itching and a pimple-like skin rash. And these inflammatory lesions happen and the skin is already broken when the mites are able to burrow their eggs in the skin, okay? So they're burrowing like inside the skin, and that's where they lay the eggs. The scabies mite is usually spread by direct and prolonged skin-to-skin contact with a person that has scabies. It can spread very rapidly under crowded conditions where like there are too many people close to each other, and that will allow more body contact. So institutions like nursing homes, extended care facilities, prisons will often see increased cases of scabies. Important also is that the larva and the nymphs are found in pouches in the skin, and that's where, because they're sexual, right? So then the male penetrates those little pouches and is able to mate with the female, and that's when the female lays the eggs. Okay, this is showing how they burrow in the skin here. The skin is all this beige part, and the mites are here in green. Pediculosis or lice is another skin condition caused by a parasite, which is not a microbe necessarily. And there is the head louse, which is one species, and the body louse, which is a different species. But they both are called Pediculus humanus and either capitis or corporis. They feed on blood from the host, and they lay their eggs on the hair and attach the lice themselves can attach to the hair shaft. The size of a louse is around the size of a sesame seed, and the adult life can live up to 30 days on a person's head. But they feed on blood daily, so without these blood meals, they lose the ability to survive, and then in 1 and 2 days they die on the host, and they detach after they die. So usually kids around 3 and 11 years old or age are the most infected, okay, or most infested, because it's not an infection, it's not a microbe. Females are infested more often than males, probably due to head-to-hair contact, hand on the hair, longer hair, okay? And usually playgrounds, sport activity, camps are where you usually see more spreading of lice. There is less commonly but possible contact via fomites, and in this case, like clothes, hats, caps, coats, anything that somebody's wearing that is sharing with other people, combs, brushes, towels, lying on a bed, on a pillow that somebody that had lice laid before, all these stuffed animals, all this could increase the chance of transmission of lice. This table is just summarizing what we all talked about, and it's including scabies and pediculosis here in the end, and showing that they both have itching as a symptom. And that's it for fungal and parasites. So in the next video, we're going to talk about the bacterial eye diseases. I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.